This morning, next month, the United Way is going to be teaming up with some of our brightest local business leaders to make sure all of our kids are getting a high-quality education.
Yeah, John Fine is the CEO of United Way King County. John Stanton is with Business Partners for Early Learning. He's at the end right there. Thank you for being here, gentlemen. Thanks for being here.
Good to have you guys on the show. It's such an important topic, especially for the parents at home. So talk about the new program. It hinges around early childhood education. We're going to hit that in a sec, but I first want to get a baseline from you guys. What exactly do we mean when we say early childhood education, and how important is it?
Early learning is about starting as early as we possibly can. The University of Washington research has demonstrated to us that children really start to learn almost at birth. And so the earlier we start working with them, the better. Institutional programs in general will start around 4 years old. The opportunity we have with the efforts that United Way has undertaken and what our business partnership's done for the last 5 years is to start working with kids at 2 and 3 years old.
Wow.
So how did you two get into this line of work, John?
Well, so United Way helps the community in numerous ways. We've been helping youth for some time, and as we've discovered over the years that early learning is more and more important, we've been involved in that, and as we've seen its positive impact, we want to ramp it up.
Sure. And how about you, John?
I was in the wireless business for 25 years. I had the opportunity after we sold our company in 2005 to get involved in programs, and I thought that working on early learning was one of the most compelling things that we could do. So a group of us have been working on pilot program for the last 5 years.
Isn't it in the state constitution that the state is supposed to fund education? I don't want to throw a Molotov cocktail onto this thing, but right. It's kind of the elephant in the living room, isn't it?
The Constitution requires that basic education be funded. That definition has expanded over time, but in general, basic education is either K through 12 or 1 through 12, and as a result, it's limited to that. What we're saying is that if you invest early, if you start early with education, you can make an enormous difference in terms of the results that kids have in school, and frankly, save money later on. Save money on remedial programs in middle school and high school. You improve the success rate that kids have on statewide testing.
So, John Fine, I've got to ask you, United Way is looking to raise $25 million over the next 5 years for this. Where's the money going to come from, and where will the money specifically go?
So, yes, we are looking to raise $25 million. That's a big number, and we want this program taken to scale. We want every low-income family in King County to have the opportunity to take advantage of it. The way we're going to raise $25 million is we're going to seek support via our workplace campaigns, which United Way is so heavily involved in. We want people to make individual gifts. We want companies to make gifts. And the initial response so far has been very, very good.
So a lot of people watching at home right now, they don't have a lot of spare money, but they do have spare time. If somebody's watching, they want to get involved, but they cannot afford to donate, what is your advice to them?
So we want people involved in this, and we want people involved in the community. They can you bet they can make donations, but they can also donate their time. United Way makes more volunteer matches with organizations that need help than any other organization in the community, and they're great opportunities to get involved in early learning. Go to our website, become a volunteer reader. I'm a volunteer reader. My daughter's a volunteer reader. It's lots of opportunities.
Yeah.
So I want to end with you, John, on the end. You know, it seems like we've taken a long time to figure this out, but the science really is clear now. By the time a kid's in kindergarten, they're almost formed in terms of who they are and what their brain is. Why has it taken so long for us to figure this out?
Well, I think that a lot of the focus of education is historic. We began an educational system that made a presumption that kids weren't ready to learn until 5 or 6 based on patterns that had existed for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. And I think that what we've found, particularly the work at the Brain Research Center at the University of Washington, has demonstrated scientifically that kids are ready to learn at a very young age. And what we've been able to do is coalesce a lot of resources together to focus on supporting those programs, particularly for 2 and 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
The statistic that I always focus on is that in this community, over half of the kids go into kindergarten unprepared. If we can prepare those kids, they have a much better chance of succeeding all the way through life.
Well, both of you keep up the great work, and I'm sure we're going to be hearing more about this $25 million push and what we can all do to help. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep up the good work. All right, 9:50.